Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So this is actually part 2 of a video where I talked about all the items I picked up from my parents' house as they were cleaning out their basement. I mentioned in that first video, they are moving now after about 20 plus years of living in the same house. So a lot of stuff that I had as a kid is still at that house. And so thanks to my mom being a bit of a pack rat, she saved all of this and I was able to go through a few boxes full of stuff. So in the first video, I showed you guys some movies, specifically some VHS tapes that I ended up taking home. And now I have a bunch of books, specifically middle grade books to talk about. So you guys know that I love the middle grade genre and I still read it to this day. It's just short, quick, easy, fun books to read. So that's why I tend to read them, just because they're a lot of fun. So I have a big old stack of books here to talk about. So yeah, really excited to share with you guys the rest of everything I grabbed from my parents' house. So let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in. So these first 2 books might actually be more YA than middle grade, but that's okay. Like this one really feels like a Fear Street style book, but it's from the Terror Academy series, which frankly I'd never even heard of, but obviously I did when I was younger, but I didn't remember it. But this is called School Spirit, written by Nicholas Pine. So this looks like, I mentioned, like the Fear Street books, where there are a bunch of different ones, and they don't appear to be related by the descriptions on these, so that's always good. But they do seem to revolve around school, which is interesting. But yeah, so this is about the ever since they won the championship, the football team and the cheerleaders have been acting strange. So yeah, should be pretty fun. I tend to enjoy Fear Street books, so hopefully I will like this one. So School Spirit from the Terror Academy line by Nicholas Pine. Let me know if you guys know anything about that series, because I'd love to know more. See if any of the other ones are worth getting. But this is one where I really remember the cover, and it has a textured cover. This is by B.B. Foz Rice, an Edgar Award nominee. This is called The Listeners. So I don't remember what this one's about either, but it looks like it's a haunted house book, but it has an amazing cover. So of course I was taking that one back home, and this is one I remember this from when I was younger. I don't remember ever reading it because it's what I do, but it looks like a lot of fun. So yeah, excited to add both of these YA books to the collection. School Spirit and The Listeners. These books are super dusty still. I should have dusted these off beforehand, but either way, I'll try to show ones that are from the same series together. So this is the Sports Mysteries series, which I've always been a big sports fan, so that's why my mom ended up buying me these. Let me see, what year are these from? Has my name in the cover with my awful handwriting, which hasn't improved very much since those days, but that's how it goes. So 1995, which is where these other 2 books are from too. But this is book number 2 of the Sports Mysteries. This is The Haunted Soccer Field, written by T.J. Edwards. And then book number 4, I believe, The Case of the Basketball Video. And this is also written by T.J. Edwards. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'd be interested to know how many of these books actually exist in this series. They have The Case of the Missing Pitcher and The Case of the Mystery of the Stolen Football as the book number 1 and book number 3. So I'm curious if there's more, but yeah, these just look like middle grade mysteries, which because they have a horror theme to them, I wanted to pick them up, but typically I stick to the horror or sci-fi. But yeah, look fun. So we'll take a look at these eventually. So The Case of the Basketball Video and The Haunted Soccer Field, written by T.J. Edwards, part of the Sports Mysteries series. These next 2 are both written by the same author, Betty Wren Wright. The first one is The Ghosts Come Calling, and then we have The Ghost Witch. Now, I don't think that these are a series, because there was a book in between, if I can find it here, called The Ghost of Popcorn Hill. So maybe they are related. I don't know, but I remember these covers as well. They are super thin. I think these ones, while they could be considered middle grade, I feel like it's young middle grade, but I think they're both from 93, or one's from 93, one's from 94. So yeah, I don't know much about this, if they're a series or not, but I would love to know. So if you guys know, let me know down in the comments below. But yeah, so The Ghost Comes Calling and The Ghost Witch, both written by Betty Wren Wright. This is one that frankly may have been my sister's, but I know she doesn't want it, so I picked it up. This is The Adventures of Captain Underplants, written by Dave Pilkey. So this is a very popular book series, of course. I think there might even be a movie series on this as well, but it's not anything I've ever read before. I was looking through it. It's almost like a graphic novel of sorts. There's so many pictures in it. So yeah, interested in checking this out just because I've heard so many things about it over the years. So The Adventures of Captain Underpants. And let me see, this will tell me if it was mine or my sister's or not. Let's see, this is from 97, so I guess it could have been either of ours. I didn't realize this was so old. I thought Captain Underpants was more in like the early 2000s, which is why I thought it was my sister's. But either way, The Adventures of Captain Underpants by Dave Pilkey. This is actually one where I think I found this at like the library book sale at the beginning of 2020, before the pandemic hit, or the end of 2019. So I picked this. I took this one home anyway, just in case. But this is Halloween, written by Todd Strasser. So this is one that the cover is so familiar to me. Like, I remember looking at this cover over and over on my shelf, and so I know this is one from my childhood, and obviously it is because it has my name on it. So yeah, this one is from 1995 as well. So clearly that was the time where I really started picking up these books. And by me, of course, I mean my mom, because I was 9 years old. But yeah, so Halloween, written by Todd Strasser, another one that is super nostalgic for me because of that awesome cover. Okay, so I know that some of you will remember these, but others might be a little too young for this, but this is so weird. This is a Super Eye Adventure treasure hunt. It doesn't have a book number on it, but it's written by J. Leibold. So I don't know if you guys remember these or not, but we used to have these posters. I don't remember what they're called, but they look like this. My teachers used to have them up on the wall all the time when I was in elementary school. And that's what this is based off of. So you're supposed to be able to like look at this in a certain way and see the picture, I think. But I might be mixing this up. So this has 3D stereograms, so maybe I'm mixing up Magic Eye with something else, but I believe that's what this is. You can look at it and get a picture. You just have to look at it in the right way, focusing your eyes, blah, blah, blah. I could never see anything ever, so I don't know what that tells you about me, but I couldn't see the pictures. But yeah, this is just such an oddity from the 90s. Like, you just wouldn't see anything like this again. But again, this is from 95, so yeah, it's just that perfect time for me. 9 years old, loving everything about life. So, of course, I grabbed Super Eye Adventure Treasure Hunt, written by, who did I say? J. Leibold. Interesting find, and happy to have this one back in the collection. So this is book 2 and book 3 of the Spine Tinglers series, written by M.T. Coffin. M.T. Coffin? You get it? I hope you get it. So this is, what is this? Billy Baker's Dog Won't Stay Buried, and My Teacher's a Bug. Another two that are super nostalgic for me based on the covers. I've never read any of these, but of course these were, trying to capitalize on the Goosebumps craze of the time. So yes, very happy to have these. I love books like this. I'm always interested in the year on these. 95 as well. So yeah, these are awesome. I definitely am going to check these out at some point. So My Teacher's Bug, which is book number 3, there it is. And then Billy Baker's Dog Won't Stay Buried, which is book number 2, both written by M.T. Coffin. Oh, I totally missed it. I have book number 1 also, The Substitute Teacher. Yes, I love it. I wonder how many books are in this series, because you guys know now I have to collect the entire thing. So I have books 1, 2, and 3 of this Spine Tinglers series. The first one is The Substitute Teacher. This is awesome. I didn't realize that I had all 3 here. So I will be researching this on Goodreads once I'm done filming and seeing exactly how many more I have to collect to have the entire series that is written by M.T. Coffin. This one is from another series, but it's from the Graveyard School series, but I don't have any others, unfortunately. And it's book number 8, so it went on for a little while, written by Tom B. Stone. This is called Let's Scare the Teacher to Death, which just makes you think of Let's Scare Jessica to Death. But yeah, so here's all the other, at least up until this release, the other books in the Graveyard School series. So yeah, interested in checking this out because I want to see if it's any good or not. Did I sign this one? Nope, I didn't. How will I ever know it's mine if I didn't have my name in the front cover? But this one was from September 1995. So yeah, really interesting. Another one where the cover is nostalgic for me, so of course I had to pick it up. But Graveyard School, Let's Scare the Teacher to Death. I almost said Let's Scare Jessica to Death, but this is written by Tom B. Stone. I was so excited when I saw this one. And this one is a little bit older, from 1991, so I don't know. I must have been one that they just had at one of those like Scholastic book sales or something, but this is a media tie-in book, Young Indiana Jones and the Ghostly Riders. Like, now that I remember receiving this book in elementary school when it came out, like, or not when it released, but when like it had to be a Scholastic thing, and they bring them to your classroom. I remember getting it, and I started reading it, but of course I never finished it because that's what I do. At least that's what I did. I'm trying to get better at that. I don't really do that anymore. But yeah, so this is written by William Mckay, and I am thrilled to have it in the series, or in the collection. I have to see how long the series is because I am collecting the Indiana Jones novelizations. I would eventually like to get the prequel novels. There's a whole long series of prequel novels as well. And if I can have this too, oh man, that would make me very happy. So Young Indiana Jones and the Ghostly Riders, written by William Mckay, is another one for my collection. So this is another series, but this looks like a series of like short stories, I guess. But it's book 10, 11, and 12 in the Fright Time series. So this has, there's 3 different books in each one. I guess I won't read them off, but there's book number 10, book number 11, which that is just an amazing cover, and then book number 12. I have to look at this. Like, man, that cover is... It's just leaps and bounds better than the other two. This is such a well-done cover. So, yeah. This contains 3 stories. So, I guess they're not short stories. They're probably... Let me see if I can get a length on here. Well, about 70-ish pages each or so. So, yeah, while they're not exactly short stories, they're not the typical length of like a Goosebumps book, which would typically be about 120 pages. So, yeah, interested in checking if these are any good or not. I don't even know. Is there an author on these? They might all be written by different authors, frankly. Yeah, I don't see an author name. So, yeah, interested in these. I don't remember much about these other than they existed when I was younger. But, yeah, just look at that cover. That's freaking amazing. This one, I can't really do anything with at this point, but do you guys remember Pogs? Because I sure do. I was a Pog collector back when. And the Slammer. Man, I used to have all these. I got rid of them, though. But this is the official Collector's Caps book. Official Collector's Caps book of Goosebumps. Of course, Pogs was a brand name, I believe, so they couldn't say Pogs, so they call them the, like, caps, if you will. So, yeah. 16 completely cool caps and heavy-duty Goosebumps Slammer. Boy, do I remember these. So we never really like played how you were supposed to play with friends with like Pogs, but I collected them. My friends collected them for whatever, like 6 months or whatever, and then we forgot about them and went back to sports cards because we used to collect those when we were younger. But yeah, this is just. Of course, I had to add it back to the collection because it's such a novelty. So not in the best shape, and it doesn't have the Pogs with it anymore, but still cool. So the Goosebumps Official Collector's Caps book. Sticking with Goosebumps, this is one of the short story collections. This is Tales to Give You Goosebumps, written by R.L. Stine, and this is special edition number 1. So this is actually in relatively good shape, which is cool. This one actually might be worth something. Not that I really care about that because I'm not selling it, but I know some of these Goosebumps books are a little more difficult to find. So my buddy sent me like the sequel to this, I believe, recently. So I was very happy to find this one. So now I think I have the first 2 books. If not the first, it's like the first and the third or something. So, yeah, we'll see. But, yeah, love this short story collections in the Goosebumps style by one of my favorite authors. So, of course, I'm excited about it. Tales to Give You Goosebumps, written by R.L. Stine, special edition number 1. This one's funny because my buddy was just giving me a hard time about the fact that I don't know Bruce Coville when I'm such a middle grade fan. And he's kind of like the OG when it comes to middle grade horror. But I actually, turns out I did have one when I was younger. I just forgot. This is the Bruce Coville's Book of Ghosts, Tales to Haunt You. So this, of course, is going to be another short story collection of middle grade horror. This one, I'm guessing, is from a little bit earlier than 95. Let me see. Well, 94, so not much earlier. But yeah, so I need to check these out just because he's really famous for My Teacher is an Alien, but I've never read it. So, and I didn't find it in my stuff here, so I know I didn't own it as a kid. But yeah. Cool to have this one in the collection. Bruce Coville's Book of Ghosts, Tales to Haunt You. You guys know I saved the best for last, or at least the one that I think is the coolest. I had no idea, or I didn't remember that I owned this one, but I'm so glad I did. This is an Are You Afraid of the Dark novelization of The Tale of Cutter's Treasure. So I was a humongous Are You Afraid of the Dark fan when I was younger. So of course it makes sense that I would have picked up one of the books based on it, just given my psyche, I guess, and the fact that I love novelizations today. But yeah, this is so cool. And what's even cooler is that you could win a trip to Universal Studios, or Nickelodeon Studios rather, in Orlando, Florida. Like, that's awesome. So yeah, I have no idea how many of these they made. Written by David L. Seidman, I should point out. But I need to have these. I need to have all of these in my collection at some point in my life. So yeah, I will be going through and trying to figure it out. And if I remember right, I think this might even glow in the dark. I think that's kind of... yeah, it does. The book glows in the dark, and it has a surprise inside, which I probably took out at this point. But let me see. Oh, no, they're still in here. Oh, my gosh. This is amazing. These are old, like, temporary tattoos of Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Secret World of Alex Mack. I just picked that show up on DVD recently, the entire series. And then the old school Nickelodeon logos. I'm just so happy right now. I love this very much, as you can tell. So, yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of Cutter's Treasure. Not my favorite Are You Afraid of the Dark episode, if I'm being honest, but still, happy to have this one in the collection, and I need to get the rest, so that'll be the next thing I'm hunting down. So, that is going to do it for all of the middle grade books that I picked up from my parents' house. All right, so there they are. Now, did I need to add these to my physical collection? No, of course not, because I don't have a ton more space when it comes to books, but am I so happy I did? Oh, you betcha. Like, this is awesome. So I am really excited that I was able to find these. Thank you to my mom for holding on to these over all of these years. They were in, like, a space that we hadn't looked in a very long time. So happy that we still had these, and they were in relatively good shape still. So let me know down in the comments below if you guys have read any of these. What is nostalgic to you? You guys were talking about all the nostalgia from the first video, which I was so happy to hear about. So let me know if any of these bring back any memories as well. I'd love to hear about that down in the comments below. As always, if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below and consider subscribing to Cinefessions here on YouTube. And if not, well, thanks for watching this one. I really do appreciate the support. And like I always say, I don't just talk books, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's video game, rather, if it's media related, I'm interested in it. And if you are too, you might consider subscribing. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.